Happy Families podcast. It's the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now.
And in an instant, there is clarity. I am doing the very best I can.
And now here's the stars of our show, my mum and dad.
G'day, this is Dr. Justin Coulson. I'm the author of a bunch of books about helping families to be happy. And Kylie, who's here with me, my wife and podcast partner, co-host, we're the parents of 6 kids, 6 daughters. Did you have a nice Mother's Day?
You know, one of the things that I love about Mother's Day is being able to reflect and celebrate the mother hearts in my life. We talk about our mothers specifically on Mother's Day, but for lots of us, Mother's Day can be a little bit tricky, and there are plenty of women out there who aren't even mothers who actually have played a huge part in either mothering me or mothering my children. And I love to celebrate that mother heart, that nurturing response that has blessed my life or our family's life as a result.
It's also a tricky day. There are people who have lost their mum, and it's got to be so hard to have a day that's all about celebrating mothers and not have your mum there to be able to tell her how hard it must be to not be able to say, I love you, mum, because mum's not there. But it's still a special day, and it's a day of wonderful reflection. I know that I really felt for my mum. You heard in the podcast last week when I was talking to my mum just how much I loved my grandma, how much I loved mum's mum. And Mother's Day is a really hard day for my mum now because her mum's not with us. She left us 7 or so years ago.
She was such an integral part of our whole family.
Yeah.
All of us miss her.
I loved listening to our parents, our mums on the podcast last week. Your mum did a great job. She was so nervous, but she shared so beautifully.
She made me out to be an angel.
You are.
I was not an angel.
Come on.
My sisters like to remind me of all the things I did not do right. But I did. I loved reflecting with her, and I loved reflecting on the lessons that I've learned as a result of my experiences growing up with her.
And hearing my mum talk about what it was like to raise a rotten teenage boy like me, and she was so kind and charitable in the way. But both of our mums, as they've gotten older and they're reflecting on what it was like to raise kids, you can hear the softness and the kindness. I don't know that it was always there when we were being raised, but as they've gotten older, it seems like the older you get, the more you value those attributes of goodness and gentleness and kindness and compassion, softness, charity. The love was there. I was really struck by my mum being so devastated about my squad swimming when I would nick off with my friends and go surfing. Dad was getting up at 4:30 in the morning, dropping me at the pool, and then I'm wagging swimming that he's paying for and getting up at 4:30 to get me to so that I can go for a surf.
But what was so beautiful about that, and so sad in the same breath, was this acknowledgement that it wasn't actually that upset her. It was that she felt that she had dealt with you harshly,
right?
That her punishment was unjust.
If you missed those conversations, by the way, just go back through your podcast feed. Last Tuesday and last Thursday, we interviewed our mums in preparation for Mother's Day. Speaking of Mother's Day, something that I didn't give you yesterday that I've had our production team working on was I did just a fun, gentle little interview with our 6 daughters about what it's like to have you as their mum.
Uh-oh.
You ready for this?
Oh, no.
Let's have a listen.
My name's Emily and I'm 7.
My name is Lily and I'm 11 years old.
I'm Annie and I'm 13.
My name is Ella and I am currently 17 years old.
I'm Abby and I'm 18 years old.
My name is Chanel and I am 21 years old.
How are you and Mum the same?
We like giving each other huggies.
We both love doing arts and crafts. We love cooking together, and we both love reading.
Mum's always looking for ways to serve, and I feel like when I'm asked to do things, I'll do it, and then I'll always ask if I can do more. When she was my age, she was very mature for her age, and I like to think that I'm pretty mature for my age.
I reckon me and Mum are the same because we both look out for people and make serving others a priority.
My mum has a love for her family and a compassion and kindness for people. You can ask my husband, but I think that we have similar attributes with patience and kindness, but she still tops the cake, but she's got more experience and more years on me, so I'm sure I'll catch up.
What's something that Mum always says to you?
We all have a choice, Annie. What are you going to choose?
Well, we have a family motto, which is choose the right, be a light and trust in God with all our might, which is one of the things that she says nearly every single day. Another one is I love you. But my personal favourite is when I have problems with my body and how I look, and I tell Mum, oh, I just don't really feel pretty today, she'll go, oh, Ella, stop it. You've got the best bum ever. Don't say that stuff. Your bum is awesome.
Love you.
Clean up your room, Lily. It's a pigsty. You're amazing no matter what anyone says.
Trust in the timing. It'll all work out the way it's supposed to.
It's not necessarily she says something, but whether she was at a concert or I was giving a talk or anything like that, I would spot her in the crowd and she would put her hand up to her earlobe and she would just hold it and give it a little squeeze and a little wiggle. I would see that and I would know that she loved me.
What's Mum really good at?
She's really good at being patient, especially when I'm in a really bad mood. She always seems to just find a way to help just get me out of the room and out of the space that's making me angry and just put me in my own space.
She's super creative and she is also really good at giving her whole self. She always gives 110% in everything that she sets her mind to.
Everything. She's good at teaching. She's good at sewing. She's good at cooking. She's good at making things look pretty. She's good at being empathetic and making people feel loved.
She's good at knowing what children want for their birthday and for Christmas.
Cooking, making our rooms beautiful, and making beds.
Everything. Whatever Mum puts her mind to do, she can do.
What makes you proud of Mum?
Helping to build her 6 daughters into who they are and obviously just continuing to be a mum, like it doesn't stop.
She's not afraid of being herself. She's really happy to be herself. She's not afraid to express how she's feeling.
Reliable. I can always come to her whenever I'm feeling down or having problems. I don't ever have to worry about her judging me and she'll just always be patient and kind.
Because she believes me.
She stands up for herself and no matter what, she never gives up.
How do you know that Mum loves you?
The way that she hugs me, especially after a long day or when I've been having a really hard time.
Because no matter what I do, she's always finding ways to forgive me and always finding ways to let me know that she loves me.
I know that Mummy loves me not through the physical things. It's kind of asking like, oh, well, how do you know that wind is there? It's not necessarily something that you can always see, but it's just something that you feel and you just know that it's true.
Because she shows me huggies, kisses, helping me when I'm feeling sad.
She's kind and patient with me and she never gives up on me and believes in me.
Mum, I love you and I'm so grateful for everything that you have done and continually do for me to make my life everything that it should be.
I just want to say thank you for everything you do and I love you no matter what.
Thank you for my birth. I love you.
It's the Happy Families Podcast.
For a happier family, try a Happy Families membership because a happy family doesn't just happen. Details at happyfamilies.com.au.
I'm the first one to admit my childhood wasn't all roses. At times, my mum was a complete and utter failure. She got it wrong so many times I've lost count. There were times I downright hated her and I couldn't wait to grow up and walk out that door, never to return again. I mean, clearly, I knew better than her and I was definitely not going to make the same mistakes she did, or so I thought. Time has a way of showing us things we never saw in the moment. And then there's first-hand experience. That's hard to ignore. The first 5 days of my mothering journey were a dream. My brand new baby just fed and slept. I can remember lying in my hospital bed next to her crib, willing her to wake so I could have my next encounter, my next snuggle. I was in awe of this little human being I had helped create. The day we left the hospital and wheeled her crib all the way down the hallway, out the entrance of the hospital and placed her in her very own car seat for the first time was a little surreal. I couldn't believe how lucky we were. We drove out the driveway on our way to our own little happily ever after. But within moments of us leaving the safety of the hospital and help at the push of a button, she started crying uncontrollably. And she was loud. Nothing I did calmed her, and I thought my heart would break in two. I went from feeling like I had it all together to being a total loss within seconds. The years that followed amplified that feeling over and over again. Just when you feel like you have it all together, another spanner in the works, another moment in time you never thought you'd have to face. This mothering gig is hard. So hard that I have spent many sleepless nights pacing the floor or drenching my pillow in tears. How could I get things so wrong? Why didn't I foresee that danger? How do I reach my child? And in an instant, there is clarity. I am doing the very best I can, and for all my good intentions, my know-how and education, there are still days I am a complete and utter failure, just like my mum. And that's when the light bulb moment hits. So is she. For all her effort, for all her good intentions, know-how and education, she too found herself pacing the floor and drenching her pillow, wondering how she could ever make good. Sometimes it's easy to see the faults of others and want to blame them for how hard our life is. Let's be real, some mistakes hurt a lot. My mum wasn't perfect. She's the first one to admit that. But she taught me a lifelong lesson. She taught me that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how many times you fall or how often, you just have to find the strength to get up one more time and try again. I imagine a Mother's Day in the far-off future, my children surrounding me, and I wonder, will they see me for the utter failure I was, or will they offer me their grace? Will they experience the realization that while I was not perfect, I did my very best? I hope so. This Mother's Day, I want to pay tribute to my mum, imperfect as she is, for the countless times she chose to get up one more time. It is her example that helps me find the courage to keep trying when I feel like I am a complete and utter failure.
Thank you for that reflection. Happy Mother's Day for yesterday for all of the mums, whether you're with your kids or not, whether your mum's with you or not. We hope that it's a special Mother's Day for you. Coming up later this week on the Happy Families podcast, we talk again with Jessica Lay, the author of The Gift of Failure. We're going to talk about how you can overcome exhaustion. And tomorrow, a question from a listener via podcasts at happyfamilies.com.au about how she can navigate life with a teenager who is identifying as transgender. That's all coming up on the Happy Families podcast, which is produced by Justin Rulon from Bridge Media, and Craig Bruce is our executive producer. If you'd like more information about making your family happier, you can find all the info at happyfamilies.com.au. And a quick reminder, this Wednesday, our Little People Big Feelings Summit. If you've got little ones and you want to have more wins with those little ones because it is so challenging, the summit is first thing Wednesday morning. You can get all the information about how you can be part of that summit at happyfamilies.com.au.